wrong, but there we go.
Everything's going wrong already. This is perfect.
Yes, everything. No, Whip just took control of my computer for a second. No. So guys, last time we're filling up the free time you have like 6 months before the tournaments. We're still like have some scenes I still want to do, especially with Reggie's character Entropy. We still have one. I want to do one with your character, of course. Whip. I'm gonna make up one for Slime. Probably some awkward scene of him being outside somewhere and learning new stuff, which is always fun.
He's at a park.
I actually had Park in my head, just sitting him on the park.
Yeah. He's at a park and he's just like, okay, can you speak to that bird? You walk over, you look at the tree, you just start climbing it, it just sinks into you. Eventually you come back down, there's no tree.
See, I was thinking more along the lines of, okay, unfortunately all his babysitters or whatever you want to call them are busy for the day, so one of them gets a smart idea to drop him off at daycare.
He encounters the man and it's smoking and he offers you a cigarette.
What the fuck do you daycare do you think?
Welcome to America. Everything shit.
Whip brings him to the pound, like, yeah, just keep him for...
I bring him to the pound.
Like I was thinking, like, I like the daycare already, but they probably would bring in a babysitter, but they can't bring in a babysitter to the secret base. Like, where would they drop you off that they get a... Like, you guys don't have a house, so...
I don't mean an actual babysitter. I mean whoever has to look after him for the day, because he is still an idiot. Yeah. And they don't trust him with W.I.P or Entropy.
Well, they do trust you a bit with Entropy, but they don't trust you with W.I.P.
Alright, so we're going to load you onto this wrecking ball, and we're going to see how well you can break a building. There's just pieces of you everywhere. Alright, now, can you make multiple of yourself?
No, let's do it. Let's start with his scene first. And I think, like, the dog that you know that thinks is your pet, he's, like, walking you in a park near the base. I've given the main puppy a name by now. His name is Gideon.
That's a good one.
That sounds familiar.
The only one I could think of was from Gravity Falls, which someone was named Gideon.
Didn't even
remember that.
Like that, but...
Yep.
Right, the kid. Oh god, you named him after him?
No, it means like big warrior or something. I was looking for something mythological. Gideon. So yeah, he's walking, like you're walking each other in the park. Like people are giving you guys some like weird eyes. Like the dog, you know, he is talking.
Yeah,
and sometimes he's like, you know, like somebody goes by, you don't have to worry, sir. Everything will be fine. And, like, you know, reading their minds and stuff and seeing this slime and just going there. This is probably not the first time that you guys were walking here. So like some people are you like a bit used to it. Like maybe even like one is like very like, oh, good morning. Yeah. Like, have you guys coming up with a name for the slime? Like. Is there anything that he has accepted as his name, or?
He will accept everything. Like whatever anyone wants to suggest something, he will accept it.
So running water. Let's go with running water.
I've got a feeling with W.I.P his name changes every hour on the hour, but
yeah, it's going to. You know that for a fact.
Well, I in that case, I see like a jogger like pass by, and she's like, "Good morning, Gideon." Oh, good morning, Greenie. Having a nice walk today. She's just calling you Greenie for now. I think everyone has like a separate name for you. Like, I don't get.
You react to everything. There's gonna be a point where someone calls out, "Hey Joe," and Slime's gonna react.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, if it's a different name, you're just like, is that me? So, yeah, you're walking by, like some people scared, like a few people are less scared, but you still wary, and like a few people are like recognize they've talked to you guys. And you see this old woman like sitting on a bench, like feeding the doves, the pigeons. And you haven't seen anyone do this before. You've come on a different time. And, like the dog walks up to you, to the old woman. It's like, you're feeding the birds. That's a nice gesture. Why do you do this? And the woman's like starts to talk. It's like, oh, you just just like to see him. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't talk before people. Sorry, I can read minds. She's like a bit behind. She's like looking up. Like, wait, this is the dog. Are you talking? You're a talking dog. And she's like, what's that with you? And she's like, and she's this greenish thing, and she's like, really like closing in her eyes. She's like, is that a new gadget or something? She's thinking like, and then maybe she goes like, am I on a prank show? I haven't seen a prank show in a while. Is this a prank show?
Slime's just halfway through stealing some of the bread or corn or whatever she's
Oh, I was
done.
expecting you to at least take one pigeon.
It has actually been a few months, so he has forgotten the whole vegetarian rule. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe this is
Yeah,
something like the puppet learns you, like, don't eat birds. Unless they're like laying dead on the ground, then he's okay with it. Then it's like, nature. He's a dog.
it's on the ground, so fair enough.
They're still walking around, and he would probably call you Pat or something, like Patty. No, just Pat. Come on, Pat. Spit him out right now. She's not making that fat for you. She's feeding the birds so they can live.
And he very reluctantly just like moves the slime so the bird's on the ground, and then just slowly rises up and leaves it. But the bird is now featherless.
Yeah, and the woman, she's like cleaning her glasses, and she puts it up again. When I heard of soup, she's like whispering, it's like, am I seeing things? Did I took the wrong pills this morning? And like the dog explains, well, there are superpowered living on us. You've probably heard the news. Well, where's some of them? I think I'm mutant. I don't really know. We were a litter of dogs with power, so I think we're born mutant, not experimented on. And he's like talking. Oh, and he's definitely an experiment of some kind. But he's my pet, so I control him. Don't worry. Just like, sure. She goes, are you ones of the good ones, or the ones I should walk away from, like, very fast?
Why would you walk away from us? Don't you want to be our friends?
She's like, well, I have lots of friends, and I always want to make new friends, but, some of those power people hurt people. They don't really care for us, non-powered people. They just care about themselves. But I think you guys are okay. I don't see people running and being scared and stuff. What are you guys doing on this beautiful day? Just having a walk?
Yep, I get walked 3 times a day.
Doug is like, he can't really count. Sometimes 4 days, sometimes 2 times. He has to get you to the outside, and I'm a dog, so I need to walk. I use the toilet. He's like, I use the toilet. And don't get any ideas here. Like, I know what you were thinking there. I'm not that kind. He's like a little bit offended for what she was thinking. And he's like, my family does that, and we walk them as well. They do it outside. I'm trying to let them learn it to do it on the toilet, but I can train them to do like, many things, like very sophisticated, high control things. But for some reason, the toilet is just too hard for them. I just don't get it. Oh, sorry, I was reading your mind again. And she's like, it's okay, sweetie. And she's like still feeding bread. It's like,
I'm so confused. Oh.
Like again, like some people are really like in this world are mutants are a thing. Like I've been for a few years, and some people are like totally like racism, like against it, and most people accept it. Like if you're okay, then they're okay as well. They're getting used to the idea, like some of them, but there's still some like very groups that are very, very against it. So yeah, you have like a chat with her and you guys walk on. It's like anything you want, like the dark asks you, it's like, yeah, anything new that you want to see today? Like, what haven't you seen? You know, what do you want to see? What haven't you seen? What do you really want to see?
The ghost mentioned something. I think he called it a club strip, a strip club. He said I had to go see that.
I have to roll if the puppy ever read in somebody's mind while he was thinking of a strip club, because nope, he doesn't know where this is. My question is, would W.I.P have mentioned this to...
He was probably the one that told them to go there.
Sure, maybe like the dog has his own like communicator on his brace, and he like calls you W.I.P and it's like, W.I.P, you told him something about something called a club strip of club. It sounds something to do with cards, I think. Where can we find one?
Yeah, it's where dogs go to play card games. So you might like it. It's the strip of clubs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's most often called the the opposite without the of.
The opposite of that. He's like, what's the opposite of club?
No.
Single person?
No, it's you just take the two words, flip them around, and then you remove the of. That's what people call it on the streets.
Strip club. And he like shouts it out loud like somebody like runs by in the park. Like, what did the dog just say? Strip club? She was already looking awkward towards the talking dog and the slime, but when she ran past, she's like, what? Yes, it's the one nearby. We still some time.
I'm gonna have the cameras spectate this. I'm gonna film this.
You're gonna film it.
Updating your route now. See what everyone just gonna post this online when it comes out.
What would the YouTube video be called for that?
So let me
a
see.
slime and a dog walk
around...
into a bar. It's gonna be called a slime and a dog walk into a bar. ...
So yeah, they're only like very, very poor and shitty shit clubs around. They're around here. But
they're
not, like,
gonna go to a very they're gonna go to a very fancy one of the pristine top ones.
Okay, but then you have to call like an Uber for them if you want that, because there are none around this part.
No, I'm gonna take direct control of a limo and pick them up.
Sure, you're able to do this, yes.
They're gonna get in the limo. I'm gonna drive to the fanciest place. And I'm going to contact the bouncer's cell phone, tell me he has a very important guest arriving, and I've just bumped up his pay by stealing someone's account and giving it to him, just to let them in.
Yeah, so that's what happens. You actually get... Like, you just pay everyone off, even like the strippers, like, you know, like you pay them in advance probably, because it's not like they have, or maybe they get like...
Person's account that... What was the person's account I kept stealing off of? John? Yeah, that's on his...
Josh.
Yeah, Josh. This is on his credit card now, too.
Sure,
at some point or another.
No issue. Like, maybe
you
like...
do realize he's going to legitimately kill you if you keep this up, right? You're gonna be grounded, and by that I mean put into a fucking like hole in the ground, like 2 or 3 miles below the surface.
Like the issue here is that the dog can't read W.I.P's mind. That's like the big issue that it's here. But let me see.
Also, the big issue is that W.I.P's a fucking idiot and asshole.
Yeah, I just imagine Josh's wife looks at his credit card. Hun, what's with all this? You've been making business trips to Cuba, Iraq, Africa, and you've paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to these people at these clubs? What the hell?
First of all, you know that Josh is not married.
Probably for the best.
So yeah,
Most
it's
likely
like
because
I
of you, actually.
I have to roll what happens. Like, are there people inside? Because the dog can read minds here. I'm trying to get into the dog's side here, where it's like very uncomfortable. So like the bodyguard, he reads his mind. He's like, oh, we'll pay this guy to let us in. They get like a stack of money, like single-dollar bills, which is almost never used anywhere. But for here, they have to just like their own money to throw at the strippers.
They will. Okay, go on. I'm gonna shut up.
You kind of need to.
So yeah, you guys walk in, and it's like a classy one. So I think you're led into a private room. Like it's not like there's a stage in this room, but that's why the dog doesn't read any minds of like other customers. You can see down there some like food for you, like you can grab like lots of food. It's pretty good food. Like it's a good strip bar with Senjutsu. I would assume the slime would eat some. And like maybe like there's this waitress with some skinny clothing. And the dog says, Miss, our friend sent us here. God darn it, we don't even know what this place. Can you explain to us what will happen or what we're here to see? It's just the food. And the miss is like, there's gonna be a show. There's gonna be a girl dancing. You're gonna see what, like, she actually thinks this the same as him. It's not like she's letting some hints on here. Like, you're gonna see what many men want to see and can't afford in this establishment.
You do realize this is like borderline inappropriate considering their ages.
The dog, like being 6 months for a dog is around it's like times 7 is dog years, right? So
that still doesn't make it appropriate.
It's still,
And to be honest, the slime has eaten enough people. He knows how to look like people. He's just going to probably be confused by why someone's naked,
like,
and then
I think like a stripper comes on and does like a dance, like a pole dance or something. And your guys are just watching, not getting it. Like, do your reaction? Like the puppy's just watching. Like, there's like only minds going through this girl's mind. Like, okay, at least I don't know what the fuck is happening. At least I'm getting paid like a lot for this. And she's like, thinking of the move she has to do. Like, what's your reaction to this?
about halfway through when she starts taking, early on, because when she starts taking off her clothes, as Slime just says out loud, I thought people didn't like people not having clothes.
I like the dog's like, I don't know. Like again, none of you have the sex dog. This means absolutely nothing to you guys.
Hey,
You're not interested.
Slime knows about sex from a purely biological point of view. Actually, from porn type of view, not so much.
Yeah, well, who would have teaching you the biological stuff? Like,
the slime is essentially a 4-year-old child at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's like a lot you still need to learn before they get to that subject. And even then, why would they even teach you? It's not like that you ever need to know this information.
And then about halfway into the show, Slime just starts to get a bit bored. So he morphs to look like the chick, though, Slime, though, see-through. And just hops up on stage and starts trying to copy her.
She's like, hey, no clients on the stage, please sit down. And the dog's like, well, do you know any other dances? I don't know why you're taking your clothes off. For us, reading your mind says you have to for money, but you can keep them on for us. I don't think we might. Do you mind, Pat?
Why? This is very boring. The ghost said this would be fun.
Yeah, I don't know why W.I.P. I think you guys just, give her all the money she got like in one time and just leave before she's even done. It's like, no, you're like, okay, let's have some food and let's just go.
Wasn't that exhilarating?
Again, you don't have to like compare them to child, but child from another species. Like there's no reason why, like you guys wouldn't have like a mother that looked this way or something. Like there's no bond here, so nothing that is interesting to you guys. Like maybe you walk out and everybody gets like had a nice time, and your guys are like, meh, not really.
Yeah,
maybe the
again,
bodyguards like
feel
talks to you. I was like, oh, well, what do you guys like? What did you expect it? And then go and like the dog's like a new experience. Yes, and starts watching a girl feel awkward at what she was doing. I don't know. I'd rather see like lots of people dance together than what she was trying to do. I don't know. What about you, Slime? I don't know. Maybe we should just go. Have you ever? I saw this like what is it called? Like a theme park on TV. That sounded much more like roller coasters and stuff. I don't think I'm allowed to most of the rides, but we can still go on the kiddie rides.
Slime Nice, that sounds fun. Grabs up the remainder of the food, walks out the door with her by sparkly naked lady.
Yeah, and you guys head back home and like maybe we get to see a few of the guys next time like in the theme park or something. Like
I would have paid for them.
Yeah, you pay like that's like I think that we're not gonna get tricked in this again, Reggie. Like Reggie, no worries. It's like straight on like nah, boring.
This is like weirdly awkward. Let's not do this again.
I think we can be glad that Gary wasn't here, or else somebody would have.
It would have
with
gotten
him
weird.
who was
Yeah,
interested.
it would have been much weirder if Gary was here.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
Shadowhawk
definitely
would have
been
gone
true.
with.
Still, Jib, fucking calm down, bro.
You're giving Jib a lot of shit here. It's very sad that Jib said that W.I.P mentioned this. I don't think it was mentioned before this.
Yeah, I was trying to think of something inappropriate that W.I.P would have suggested, and I couldn't think of anything
really
besides
like
let's kill some people, let's murder some people, let's pirate some stuff. And this,
Like,
yeah.
I really like that Reggie actually believed that this was in story, that Jib had said this before. No, it was actually very thinking what W.I.P would mention. Which is great.
I am not amused.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, so let's head over to Entropy. Entropy, it's getting close to the challenges, the championships. I think it's in like 5 weeks. You have an appointment with your brother. He opens a portal and gets in your room, and he's like, "You wanted to talk, Entropy." Like again, your brother is like a bit Indian looking. He's wearing mostly like let me quickly translate this because I'm not sure about how this is called. Nope, that's not the right language, I think. Okay, he's wearing a turban most of the times, because the back of his head is see-through. Your brother is also, as we know, he is a bit in the human world. He works for a company which has to do a lot with history stuff, like old items and stuff he's really into. Of course, his name was, what was it again? Because your Entropy, his order. Yeah. I don't think we've seen. Have we seen you guys together before?
I think once we actually like.
I know somebody else met your brother, but I'm not sure if we saw.
I know. I don't think we've actually been in the same room per se. I think it was more along the lines of I had him on video or something like something like that. Like we spoke through a video chat or something like that.
Yeah, I know that like one of the old PCs talked with him before about doing like the same thing as what Shadowhawk was doing, like trying to get your guys if anything was needed. I think, what's his name? I have his name here. Which was, yeah, I think it was Brasford who talked to your brother before.
Right, probably.
Yeah. So it's like, Entropy, it's good to see you. It's been a while. You look great. I've heard good things about. I think everything's okay. It's going great with you. Yeah, you wanted to talk. Have some memories gotten back to you?
Yeah, a couple of memories have come back, and to be fair, they've sort of been messing with me a little bit. I've been having a weird sort of time, honestly. I just kind of wanted to talk to someone that I knew I could rely on, you know?
Well, you can always rely on me, brother. What are you feeling is wrong, or it's not sitting right with you?
I don't know. I've been feeling more and more just not like myself. This whole thing about, you know, being a hero and being all... What are you typing, Jim? I just hear multiple different just from the fucking background.
He's offended.
Yeah, I can't trust you. Of course I can't trust you. No one can trust you.
Damn
doesn't trust you. Fairy doesn't trust you. Everyone in this planet probably does not trust you.
Oh yeah, just for you, Jip. As soon as his brother like enters Entropy's room, you don't have any access.
I'd assume. Yeah, I would assume the camera's been cut and everything else.
That would probably have been him.
Yeah, exactly.
What he thought of. Anyway, my character was just something to say. I don't know. It's not that I don't like being doing the whole like hero business thing. It's kind of nice and it's fun. It's just you're running a business. Everyone else is doing their job and doing what they're supposed to be doing. What am I supposed to be doing? I'm supposed to be the embodiment of chaos, right? What does that mean?
Well, he starts talking.
I've never really thought about what I'm supposed to be like actually doing, you know?
Well, that's the thing. And he's like, follow me. And he like opens like this another portal.
All right, I guess I'll follow him through.
Yeah, and you're outside. It's daytime. You feel like the sun is in a different spot than you expect. So you probably are in a different time zone than you were. You're on this. You look around, like blue sky. It's a bit warmer. And if you look, you see like the ocean. It's like a blue ocean, which you're not used to from Germany.
Right.
Yeah, you're expected to be on some island. You have some like gravel, like rock on the floor. There's some grass. You see like this big, small, not a big, a small mountain in the distance, and you start walking towards some spot. And he's like, Entropy, like we used to be more needed. But what we mostly do is we give human a small direction with our powers. They do stuff with it, and it gives us more powers. Let's say fire. We gave them fire. They learned how to use it, and now there's more fire in the world than there used to be. The same is with entropy. Like in the beginning, like there was like more of me, more order in the world. Like we're small groups of people that listen what they had to do. They believed in like religion and stuff, which kept them like pretty much in the rules. Now basically people just do what they want to most of the time, which is entropy. Points at you. But still, like you're still doing what you have to. Like you have to just, give entropy a push once in a while. I noticed there was this young boy like a few months ago when this diplomat was visiting. You gave him like some of a book or some magic stuff, which got entropy magic if I was correct.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It's like well that's exactly what we do. We sometimes give people powers, powerful item for just to fuck with them, sort of say. we don't like take a great role in the universe. To be honest, we just feed our own power per se. Like you're getting lots of memories back, and I don't know. Like I think people have been like our people have been exaggerating how bad you were. That was just like something happened in your past, which you were having trouble coping with. You were basically the same as you were now, like a bit older, more in control of your powers, more you knew what you had to do with your powers. And female, of course, that was like a big difference. You didn't have to, well, you had the horns. But yeah, you did some basic stuff, like, some stories like back, like there are lots of folklore, like, Loki and stuff, it was a bit based on you or the guy you gave powers to. I can't really remember. But sort of say, we're back in history a lot. Like, one of the more important moments in memory that you may have known that was mentioned to you is this, and like you walk over a small hill and you see this village in ash, and you're at what's it called, the Vesuvius, was that the one? The one.
Wait, what now?
The volcano with all the stone people, that you were the one causing. What was it
Pompeii.
called? Pompeii. Oh yeah, that was the one. Sorry, I was thinking Vesuvius for some reason. Yeah, you're at the city of Pompeii right now. You were walking towards there. Like you see all the people like into rock forms. Like how you what you see what you did there basically, like it's walking. It's like this was a changing point, Jen. You've been to this, what we all do, like these small pushes in a direction. Not evil, not good. But here you changed, and there is a reason for this. And this reason, I have to say, I think was love. You were in love with someone who was not a good guy as well. He was making you do stuff which were evil, and he had bad plans. And as you know, he's like going on ahead, like, we can't be killed, we can't be captured. Well, we can't be killed by going through lots of trouble, like especially us, but the ones in the bigger circle are like almost impossible to kill. And you were in love with one of us who was causing issues and wanted to do something that was not allowed by the councils. So we imprisoned him. And you were not happy with that, and then you did this. You changed. And basically you were searching for him after this, destroying many things in your way to try to find him. And again, we were not the ones, at least as I know, that the ones who killed you. But yeah, you were killed. And you came back, and the memories were gone. And we got a second chance to get the old Entropy back. The one before we fell in love and did bad stuff.
So that's how it was told. I was wondering about the whole story. I got a couple of, images, memories. A few of them have come back, but
He's like,
I never knew how the actual story went.
Like again, it's like, I wish I could give you more. I mean, I think this is the most important. And again, I don't know who killed you. And to be honest, at this point, I don't want to tell you who you were in love with and what I know of this person. We just don't think you're ready for this. But we must say you're doing good right now. Like, we don't expect you to be a hero. We expected you to respect humans and not to stray too far off of, like, going back to your bad stuff you did. But you exceeded our expectations. You've been doing lots of good. And I think you even feel remorse for things if you do bad stuff. You feel guilt. That's something we didn't expect.
Well, you know how it is. Chaos is just full of surprises and ends to leave everyone on their heads, huh? Either case, I'll be honest with you, brother. I'm thinking of possibly just taking a small break from this whole hero business. Not a huge one, mind you. Just, I don't know, maybe travel the world, see some of the sights around, spread a bit of chaos, as you said. Nothing huge, nothing dangerous, just maybe take a small break, you know?
And it's like I agree, and I think you should do that. But I think you also starting your temple.
Yeah, that's another thing I've been meaning to ask about. Everyone has all these different, like, separate realms and all this other fancy temple stuff, and kind of wondering why I don't have one of those.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
like
I have to make it.
exactly. And well, with temples made first, it is still in this universe. As you know, we can't switch universes, but they're like small pockets somewhere in this world per se, or on other planets. But we surround ourselves in our power, in our energy. I think you've been to like this amusement character named like Water and Wisdom. I think there were at least Wisdom. I don't know what his girlfriend was, like Ocean or something. You've been there, and they were surrounded by like books of wisdom and water, which gave them energy. So you basically build a temple around something that gives you energy, which for you is entropy, which is kind of hard to create in first.
I'll figure something out. But I appreciate you just talking to me a bit, man. It's nice to actually just, actually just relax and have a conversation.
And he's like, I must admit, it's good to have my my sibling back. I miss you, Entropy, the years you were gone. Like even before that you changed, we didn't have good communication, and I lost my sister. And he's like, but now I've gained a brother. You're still like a bit. It's weird, with I'm getting used to humans, and sex has played a little big thing with them.
Honestly, my character would proceed to just start morphing in it, like from a girl to a guy to a girl, back to a guy to a crab to
into a slime,
into a slime, into a back to a normal self. Really, that's part of my whole power anyway. Changing my form, becoming something new, adapting, overcoming. Isn't that right? Entropy and chaos are all about change. So, who knows? We'll see what the future holds. I just have to find a place of change and, I guess, set down my roots. That's weird. I don't know if I want to set down my roots.
Like, there's a moment like, yes, your temple is not actually supposed to be you making roots in a room, right? Just making sure.
I wonder if I can get a traveling temple. That'd be interesting.
We'll see.
You just have W.I.P install your mobile restaurant, your restaurant with like giant mechanical legs, and it just walks off.
Like,
yes.
That's kind of a thing, right? Your restaurant was kind of like a small temple for you. For you being there was probably like a energy source, because it was something like a temple that your other like family members do in this way, which is kind of funny.
Considering I made it as a joke, that would be weirdly appropriate, actually.
Yes. Exactly.
But I would just sort of just sit there talking to him, like ask him how he's been doing, like if there's been any sort of developments or anything like that. Anything of interest has actually happened with our brothers. Mention how I plan to probably go around and visit everyone else because my character probably hasn't even introduced himself to a lot of the other aspects. So
it
might be nice to actually go talk to them.
Yeah, they were there when you were like reborn. Like most of the big houses were there, but like there are some like the minor like. I think we say that there were like 3 rings, if I remember. Like there's like the 6 elements, like the head ones, like one person.
Yeah, the 6 elements were the fire, water, wind and earth, like the basic elements, and then
life and
death and life.
And then you're like in the upper ring, like the middle ring, which was the upper ring, which is like the major elements in those houses. and then you have like the smaller ones. So you've met like the major characters in the Houses of Life. Basically, you have seen some of the others, maybe some even of the Minors of Life. And you've probably seen some of the elements where you were born, like you maybe saw that. I think you've seen that, if I remember correct. You've seen Life.
I think I've met Death, but I don't think like I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's like a lot of you to still meet them. That's something you can do, and it's like, you know, you're not gonna be there for the tournament, like travel the world a bit, which I think is great. Probably like visit some stuff of your memories, like maybe like, you know, your brother shares some of your past. Maybe he can even bring you to like your old temple, which maybe is a scene we can do later. It's maybe you start your temple where your old temple was, or something like that, or at least you go there as like a map, a blueprint to build your own later. But yeah, that's like your brother still talks to you, and you're like disarming, and he's like, you're asking if something was wrong, and he's like, you know, most of them seem to be okay. They were like really shocked, the elements of like, you know, even the news themselves, about like 10% of the people having some sort of power. Like they know like some of them are them. They are part of that group. But you know, there is this fear underneath your people that somebody's gonna be stronger than them at some point. Like maybe there are already some heroes, but since it's growing, they're really afraid there's gonna be more people to be stronger than them. And he also, like, you start talking about this, and there's also the mention of the anglerfish, because they were very like involved in the knowledge in the war with the headsmen, and they haven't heard of the anglerfish before, and they've also been searching for information, and the anglerfish seem to be going back longer back before than just these 50 years. There's been mentioning as this anglerfish for maybe like 150 years, around like even some people they took down. Which is new information. It seems the anglerfish was brought back to the war with the headsman, and he was connected, but now we have like, it was 10 times time before he was already like connected to stuff. And again, like, normal people don't live 150 years. So
as far as we know.
Yeah. And again, they don't know if it's like a corporation or a person. It could be like a corporation. So then it could be like 100, like at least like 150. I think it's probably like 300 years, I would say.
Jeez.
Let me check. I can check. And I have an estimate of how old it is. Let me check here.
Jib, become an acolyte of the chaos.
Yes, it could have even been 1400 years back.
Yes, W.I.P can definitely become an acolyte of chaos.
Yes. Well, yeah.
I mean, if he could, he would.
Yeah, to be honest, Jib, like you're sending me a message here. I was thinking like, just you're making a new character, which is a fire-based character. I was like thinking of maybe, you know, doing something with it, like just like an hour ago. It's like, yeah, there could be some ideas there. Oh, he's here. He lost connection for a second, but he's probably still here.
Yep, still here. You're stuck with me.
So yeah, we'll see. Maybe in the future. Like, it's not the first time I did this. We had one character which was Rosa, which she connected herself to Death, and since Reggie and I already said that Death was related, they immediately became like, he didn't find out for like a long time.
Yeah, so apparently like somehow my just backstory fucking became a weird thing in the world. Great.
Yeah.
Hey, I just realized. So you saw my fire character, Jib. Your character's technically partially related to me. I mean, through the grew
Yeah,
like an
it's-
adoptive sort of. Anyway, don't worry about it.
It's weird, complicated, and there's like many twice removed siblings.
Most of which are weird and awkward. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Like again, like there are like small parts, like maybe you can like, you will see in the future. Maybe I'm just not going that route. I will see. I think it's kind of cool
Yeah.
to connect some people.
Let's not get into them too far.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sent you images of what the character looks like without the disguise when they're an adult, and what happens when they fail the holding back roll.
Yeah, I will have a look at those later. Let me see. So yeah, I think that's pretty much for you see. We see your brother, maybe I walking around Pompeii, like showing. I think not the whole conversation takes place there. You see that you're having probably some trouble, like going around here, and maybe he teleports you to like a different spot where you can talk stuff out. Maybe it's like some beautiful flower garden or something. Which doesn't have any mention of why he took you there, but just to calm the ease of you. Yeah. I think we should do another scene like when I've done the other guys again, for maybe you talking to Miss Bouchat about going away for a while.
Sure.
So we can keep going with the scenes. I'm just gonna write some stuff down about this conversation. Okay. So yeah, W.I.P. Like last time we had like a vision for you, and there was this guy who came into like your world, which was very weird. Let me see my notes on that one. I still have it. Oh yeah, the Triact program, he said. Yeah, and like your space is very big, but after you've seen the guy, you probably set out some like scouts or like digital scouts around your world, just to keep things more eyes on your world. And yeah, it does take a few weeks, but you see another person, and you start seeing them more regularly. Like maybe you see the same guy twice, like at the same spot. You probably seen like in 2 months you've seen like 6 persons like walking around. And
That's unsettling.
One of them is even like, it's almost like Minecraft building, like trying to create an object in your world. It does, like the first things are just disappear. Like
I'm not able to like get any of them down for like a locale of where they are at all.
What do you want to do? Like, sorry.
I mean, like if like in my spare time, besides goofing off, I would have tried to do like sort of a face recognition to see if there's records anywhere I could find of where this guy is.
Yeah, so their faces are probably like more like avatars. They probably look similar. You're trying to get closer on this, and you hear the name Triact program. You're searching that. Make a technology roll for me to see if you find anything.
All right.
Because it's like a very secret project. You can probably still go into it.
Where is it? Come on, there it is. Oop.
Oh man, again, like those pluses you have on there.
I rolled a 9.
Yeah, but still. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll the d20 just to see like how. Just to see how 17. No. Okay. So you do find one mention of Triact program, which is of a company called what's it called? I still have. It's called Golden Flower. No, that sounds too bad. Nope, that's not it. I think the company's just called Titanium. And this is old, like Titanium does like a lot in like new hardware, software things in computers, like making new computers. It's basically like Apple in our world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is like mention of maybe like 8 years ago of an ex-employee working on a triac program, which was like the next like simulation computer, you know, getting into the digital world and actually like living there. And he said he was working on like there are like some small mentions of something along these lines, like never mentioning that they're actually going there or being there. It's just like the next step in VR.
So the person used to work for Titanium. It's a Triton program, and he's left it, and there's no mention of where they are now. Great.
It's the Triac program. So this brings you down well to 2 points. Like either it's connected to this ex-employee, or it is connected to the company itself. The Titanium is one of the highest like security systems in there. Like this is a warn. This is something probably being warned by you trying to hack Titanium. There's like one of the only companies who can actually go after you and like destroy you if needed. Like I don't know. Did somebody invent you, or were you accidentally like created, or you created yourself? Like, did we ever mention something like this?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I was created by basically a shitposting website as a joke, and as the AI grew and become more intelligent, it just became more and more chaotic and self-aware, and basically became an AI to the levels that a human could be.
So basically, what they probably did as well is they took some research from other AIs, and maybe there was even like an old hack AI in this. Like some of the AIs had like the command, "Don't go into Titanium systems, you will be destroyed, and we will get arrested," like stuff like that. So there was like an inborn warning not to go there. Yeah, you're able to. Do you ever try to interact with these guys again, or do you leave stuff for them because you know?
I mean, obviously, if they're doing like Minecraft building stuff, it would be struck by lightning.
Let's try me to like. There's one guy who's like tried to create something, disappears like maybe a week later. You know, it stays, but it's just like this. You know, a form that's like completely misshapen and super tiny. It's not what he wanted, but it stays. Like
I mean, his torch would have become red again, because the moment they enter my realm, I go after their data immediately.
Okay.
So like the moment they infiltrate the area I'm basically my realm, my dimension in a way, I would immediately go after them with all of my most of my shit posting or derpy stuff would end as that's priority A, number one.
So that's what you get. Like the first time you was able to come close to some guy and just because you started monologuing was able to leave. Now when even you get when you starting getting close, like you're in some kind of range, they automatically log out, and you hear let me see, beta tester 11 log out, beta tester 4 log out, beta tester 33 log off. It's log off. Yeah, like the highest number you heard is 33 at this moment.
So I've labeled down that. I'm gonna contact the diplomat again. I'm gonna send him a completely serious text message, and that stuff that I asked him before that was a joke, ignore that. There's actually something serious that I want you to help me pursue that I am unable to do so. Something that actually has me worried. There are people that are entering the digital world, and every time I get close, I cannot follow them. I'm going to send him all the information I have available to him in various folders, and I would ask at the very bottom, a PS, would you kindly please help me pursue this problem?
Yeah, so you're using your IOU to get after this ID. Yeah, sure. So I'll write this down. which is great. Yeah, we will see what have to go. Like, probably, I'm gonna say this just so you can take it. The diplomat is probably want to talk to you about like sharing your world, like if it's possible to coexist. That is something he really wants to, create. Um, but yeah, that's something he will try to talk about with you in the future. Coexisting with these guys in your world, since he's all about like coexisting and everybody living together. But he will help you. It's not like you're a douchebag and not gonna help you. Like he owes you, so he's gonna give you some help in some way.
I'm going to input. I'm gonna input the counter argument. You've seen the terrorist attacks that have happened upon your interaction with trying to speak up about the freedom of people and magic. I'm going to say, you've seen what I can do naturally. Imagine what hundreds of people from unknown locations acting out with powers that I have available on command.
Yeah, he's like, okay, yeah, he is like, yeah, that's actually pretty bad. pretty, that's a nightmare.
The highest I've been able to count is 34. And 33. The number of 33. The highest number I've been able to find has been 33 disruptions within the areas that I've been able to command. Who knows what other systems they've infiltrated?
Yeah, and it's like I will get back to you. Like again, this is like close to the tournament. Like having you like call this guy in, so we're probably gonna go into this like again, if like maybe somebody doesn't show up for tournament, we can also do like a one shot what's happening with Entropy and with W.I.P, which is kind of cool, having multiple characters. Yeah, man, let's go back to Fairy. Let's see. Okay, let me think here because I haven't got really planned. Like, let me think for Slime. So you're getting close to the tournament. They're probably like, okay, this may be, they're probably feeding you like a lot of stuff, like preparing for the tournament, like information wise, and they don't know what to expect, so they're showing you like wacky races, Hunger Games, like we said, Harry Potter 4.
Really? Would they show them the Hunger Games? Think about it.
Yes.
And Harry Potter 4.
Yes.
Just no context that... Okay, they're stupid.
They're not showing 1, 2, and 3. They're just showing Harry Potter 4. Well, maybe it's the audio version for those two. Just no visible whatsoever.
I mean... There's going to be a giant fire-breathing dragon. Can I eat it? I'm not entirely sure if I could eat it. It looks kind of big.
They're like, if there's a fire-breathing dragon, you have to defeat. Yes, you can eat it. We're allowing... Like, should we, like, are we not getting any problems with PETA? Like, this group had problems with PETA before, with maggots or something.
Great. So Perry's going to get eaten because he's probably going to mistake. Well, that's not a dragon, but it's shooting flames. That's close enough.
Like, there is also a full day where Slime just goes around looking like Rick Dastardly, was it? Dick Dastardly?
Dick Dastardly, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're probably also showing you like lots of like competition shows, like on like even like idols and stuff, like music competitions, because they don't know what challenge is gonna be. They're shoving everything down your throat just to like people know that you're from this company. You're like one of the poster boys for this company, and they just want to make a good example. Like they have another experiment entering this championship. It was not their idea to enter you. That's because you're in the Super Parole, and they were like, wait, they're entering him, and they try to get you out of like the selection.
I mean,
fuck.
If they allowed me, I would show him actual things that could help him, and some side stuff that may not be relevant at all.
Do they really need to allow you? Chip.
See, these unnecessary comments are what, like, cause these things to not be a thing. You didn't have to say that last part, but you did.
I know.
Again,
I know. I have to.
They probably wouldn't like ask you for any help, but you would probably give it to them, not in the way. Every time.
Let's face it, though, with what's going on, probably the best thing for Slime to watch is actually Japanese game shows, because those things are
I was
freaking
thinking
weird.
Takashi's Castle inside my
I
head.
do not think that this is an acceptable thing. I do not feel as if this is something they should be allowed to watch.
Well, like Takashi's Castle, like that kind of stuff, and like what is it, like Ultimate Ninja Warrior or something you have over in
Yeah,
America?
that one.
Like that kind of stuff they're showing.
Yeah. Or that Australian one, Wipeout.
I'm
gonna. Yeah, Wipeout.
Yeah, wipe out. That's nice, but I'm gonna be real quick. People need my help. I'm back to take.
So yeah, they're getting you ready. They're letting you access the gym in the Super Parole just, and they're probably like upgraded to gym because of this tournament and getting like all those kind of stuff like inside for you to be able to train like the Wipeout and the Ninja Warrior stuff. Yeah, man.
So training montage time.
Like again, like they're asking these guys like what kind of competition can you be in, and they're like, yeah, it can be everything. We're just not trying to like fight them up to each other, show powers. So they're probably even like, I think they probably send like you to a building, you don't know what it is, and it's just a kitchen with a professional chef trying to learn you how to cook, teaching you how to cook. You're like, you're just eating everything, even the pants, and he's like getting really annoyed trying to like teach you how to use like the good way to cook, and you're just eating everything. He's like, does like everything just tastes great for you, right? That's something that's built in.
He has no taste buds. He cannot actually taste food.
Yeah, but it's like a feeling that you want to eat, right? You have some like reward system built in, like this is good, this is what I need to do.
Yep.
And you're just driving the chef insane, trying to teach you like stuff. And maybe we go to a next scene, like someone trying to teach you how to sing or play an instrument, like trying to see if you have any musical talent at all.
He's actually not bad at singing. I mean, he can warp his own vocal cords. So he can actually create vocal cords.
But would you know what sounds good? Is my question.
No.
That's the thing, right? You can change your voice, but the difference between like someone good singing, someone bad singing,
True.
It's like difficult training. Maybe they like teach you to do some like Wolf of Wall Street kind of thing, just like making some random noises and sounds, like being to do something that humans can't. Or what is it, like the guy from police? Wait, if you can you change your voice and everything? Can you be like the police academy guy, like doing all those weird stuff?
I mean, I did actually take. I don't think I actually took the power, but theoretically, as long as it's not just for role playing purposes, we could easily say.
Yes. I would say you're allowed to do that. I'm getting whipped in Entropy like a lot, getting whipped away a lot of stuff more than just being.
See, like I said again, I kind of feel as if you should regret some of the stuff you've let us do personally, but we do appreciate the silliness we've been allowed.
Yeah,
so I just need to be back in 2 seconds.
Okay, sure.
No,
that's. I can say this on the recording. There is like this general discussion. If I let you guys go too far, I think like the only one I really have to sometimes stop is Whip and Gary. Like and speaking with Jip, that's actually the Whip character, because Jip's making a new character and he knows what is allowed, what's not. He's like, oh, I'm not gonna play this because that's controlled. And I think that was the issue with some of the players who left, who didn't know. I think Magus. For the guy who played Max, I think it was Max was playing Magus, and yeah, he was a great character, but he sometimes took too much of the story, which just didn't give us enough time to go to stuff, where we got stuck. And I think that's a great game of superhero, just letting you guys do, and that's what creates the world around us, like just letting you guys stop. Like superhero can do like a lot of things, and you're keeping it like a bit balanced, I would say. It's not like some of the old Batman like comics, which he just had like super silly things, and it was like, why would you have? It was like I think it was a show of Batman, which he had like anti-shark
repellent.
Anti-shark repellent at him when they were near a shark or something, right?
Greatest. Basically, the whole thing with him was anything he could possibly ever need in a situation, he had on his belt.
Like,
even no matter how silly of a thing it might have been, he had it on him somehow.
Like, that's why I trust you as Entropy, because you never had when we had a shark. That's like basically when we get to that point, then we got too far.
When we have a shark, and I'm just like, oh, here, shark repellent. All right, yeah, okay, no.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. Then I would be, you brought the wrong one, and it's actually chameleon repellent. Darn.
It's chameleon repellent. Wow, jeez. No wonder I haven't heard a single funny joke for this entire game. Yeah.
I think Fairy's back. You back, Fairy?
Fairy is back again.
We can't hear you. Are you mid? Because he says it's back.
1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can't hear you, Fairy. Oh, just a sec. Okay, just a sec. Yeah, and again, I think the same goes for like. That's the reason. Like, I let people choose more characters, because I think maybe Gary is sometimes going to be fucked up with, Shadowhawk being able to take months to build a robot when Entropy can say, I'm a robot now, and again,
mind you, it would be a robot with no physical, like, it would be literally a gag robot. It would have no
that's the thing. Like,
actual ability. But...
You know who to trust. Like, I think it's yourself. You feel like you can do so much with Entropy that you're feeling like, I'm gonna play another character for a while and see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably gonna be. The jokes are gonna be different. I think there's still gonna be some humor, but less funny.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely like, this guy does not have the same kind of personality that.
No, but I think we're still
Cool.
gonna.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
About time.
That's about time. So we can advance. Let me think. What else can they like try to teach you here, which I kind of think is cool.
Gotta have a dancing scene. That weird thing with their glasses and trying to make their water. I don't know how that is.
Yeah, that is gonna go through all the tricks. Like, again, we see some of you like showing like on TV. There are some like weird, like maybe even showing like robot wars and trying to teach you how to build a robot. I was like, no, you gotta just morph into a robot and look like a robot and make robot sounds. So go beep boop and stuff. maybe they will.
Shitty old-fashioned Doctor Who Dalek. Oh, and of course there is a scene where it's like, one of those pet training tracks with the dog shows, except for Gideon is showing me through all the tricks.
Yeah, it's like they want you to like train a dog since you're good with dogs, but it ends up with Gideon letting you do the tricks and him being the trainer. They're like, no, that's not what we meant. And it ends with Gideon like giving you like this medal with like best in show. And oh man, now Gideon is gonna take you to some like pet competition in the future, real pet competition in the future. It's like, yeah, he's my pet, yeah. Can he compete?
Well, it has to be a dog. Has to be a dog, cat, or whatever. Well, you define it as X amount of legs, X amount of tail length, blah blah blah. He has it.
It's like, yeah, it has to be like it never says that the trainer can't be the dog. There has to be a dog in the team.
This was I feel as if this will be not something addressed, you know? There would never have been a case like this before, so there is no rule in place against it.
It's like Airbot, right? He could compete in like 5 competitions, and then like in the finals, like, wait, is the dog actually allowed to play? I think this is against rules somewhere.
I mean, there's never been a case such as this, so it doesn't actually have a rule against it, so
So, yeah.
I guess not.
Going to compete.
And I like to imagine there are lots of rules against it. Everyone just goes, you know what? I just can't be asked.
Yeah,
Everyone is just
like,
so lazy they don't want to go through the rule book.
And they actually go like, it has to have dog DNA, and they check your DNA, and it's like, yeah, there's actually some percent dog DNA. We can't say it's
I
not
mean,
being the dog
technically
somewhere.
he can shape his DNA, but whatever.
Again, there's probably some dog DNA in there, so they can't
wouldn't
say
be
you're not
surprised.
some kind of dog breed somewhere. Again, that's going to be a future scene, not now. This was just their training for that in the future. Which is
I love playing the stupid characters. I don't do it very often, but I just get so fun with Elberton there.
like again, like I think it's funny to like people. If you have powers, like you will go a certain way. You will either go like, let's have fun with this shit. If you have real powers, or yeah, I can control everybody. I'm gonna be a bad guy. Like there's some middle ground, but like if there's no bad guys, you're not gonna be. I'm a good doer, and then, like. Which I kind of liked about Iron Man 1, just beating the crap out of Taurus. Like, yeah, that's what you should have done if you got real superpowers, like, as the first guy.
That's what I liked about Kick-Ass as well. Just he tries to be a hero, but there's no reason for him to be a hero, so he just beats up someone for cutting
And
him
then
line
he
because he has
actually
literally
becomes,
nothing else
like,
to do.
wanted by the
Parole-
cops being this, like, vigilante. Yeah.
Apologize for my long absence. I am back.
You're not excused.
Not excuse. Go sit in the corner. He's like, I'm already almost in the corner, so I'm pretty much safe here. Yeah, so I think this fusion, like just some. If it was a comic, you get just like quick drawings of you like in weird competitions, and like most of your teachers just being annoyed as fuck. Like maybe the music teacher is like, first like, oh man, he can't sing, and then you make the crazy ass sounds. He's like, oh, yeah, maybe he does got some talent. And, like the only happy one is like the dog, and like all other guys like, this is not what we meant. When we meant dog
There's a
training.
dancing thing, and instead of moving his body, like moving his, okay, take a step left, move, twist, or whatever,
Yeah, like
his body just morphs into the shape.
And after that, they probably
Well, you're
just
not
show you the
wrong,
dance
but-
of the Flubber movie, and maybe you learn something from that, from the dancing from the Flubber movie.
Oh God, that sounds like a horrible idea. It's awesome.
Like again, like you're actually one of the only ones actually getting ready for this tournament. And you probably, yeah, there's like none of, like some people have come out, you know, are in the competition, so they're also like in your cartoons, like, but there's this like weird thing going on in your cartoons. At first it was, don't hurt this guy, but now it's like, okay, you can't hurt this guy if he's in the other team. If he's on a similar team, then you can't. Except if it's not a match, it's not for fun. Like they're getting real hard making cartoons for this tournament since they're not knowing what's going on to happen. And they're
Does
trying-
Whip make any changes to the cartoons?
Nah,
Whip's
busy.
Whip's busy.
Busy with what?
Well, there's like guys running around this universe, you know. Like
Whip's busy with what? Nothing.
like his
Shifty
camera just
eyes.
went black in Entropy's room, and he can't find Entropy like for a while, which normally Entropy just calls in after a while. No, he doesn't.
The fuck? Starts freaking the fuck out. Like, where did he go?
Yeah, like I
I've
think
never lost anyone ever.
Like, I think this is the month, like 4 weeks before the tournament, Josh finally comes back with Ivory. And we see Ivory. Ivory had like an ivory skin and like a crystal in her forehead, if I remember correctly, in her normal form, which made her kind of depressed and not want to go out. Like, her power is like enlargement, so she grows to like a bigger. But now she looks normal. They come back with the two of them, and you know she looks human again.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and you know she looks happy. Like, she was always very depressed and stayed in, and she looks like very happy. And you know, again, like normally she would grab like almost all her body wearing like big sweaters, and now she's like wearing more normal clothing. And even Josh, who was like, you know, he's still what he looked like. He's like maybe a bit more muscly, maybe lost a bit of weight. He's grown out his beard is more rough. His hair is is a bit shorter. But again, he was always like a happy person, but he looks a bit more confident than he was when he comes back. And he's not wearing like a cartoon shirt and like a reference cap. Now he's just wearing some, you know, a big bag on his big backpack, and he's just wearing just a basic white sweater, t-shirt, some cargo, like some army cargo pants. And yeah, they come back and they drop down on the chairs, like they probably have just been on a big flight or something. Out. Let's see, like maybe this is a scene like for Entropy just before him going to. Like, they see you, Entropy, like probably W.I.P sees them first, because W.I.P sees everything. Like,
yeah.
Do you react to them? I think they've been gone for like almost like 5 months. You probably spent like a lot of his money while he was gone. Like, still he's rich, so he probably wouldn't notice that much, but it's getting noticeable.
Yeah.
To the point where you might get in trouble soon, Jim.
Yeah. I would have welcomed him back and given him a proper introduction by flooding his phone with everything that he's missed on a day-to-day basis.
Like, is it like easy to get like, okay, this is what happened today, and it goes to the next, or it's like all at once and you can't really keep track of it?
He gets an email for what happened every day.
At once?
Single email separated into days.
Yes, a single email for each and every day. And the worst part is they're not labeled. They're just day this, like ETA day this, and he has to, in order to actually learn of what happened or get a summary, he has to click and go through
day
each
1,
and every
day 2,
mail.
day 3, day 4,
Oh,
day 5.
actually,
happened.
that's kind of great to get. I don't know, but if I come back and I can actually like, read back on my phone what happened today, and if I can ignore it if I want to, it's actually a great thing to give someone. So
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, thanks.
It's just painful to go through, but yeah.
Well, is there anything like extremely important as well? Has anybody joined since we got back, or anybody left, or?
Yes and no. That's all I'm gonna say. Just yes and no.
Ivory is like, okay, why did we get back? I can't really remember. Like, you know, you work here, but why did I come back? He's like,
Oh, there is a small, minute detail. We're running low on funds.
you're running like you get payment like every month. Like, how are you running low on funds? Are you spending all your money?
Aggressively.
Actually, if I imagine right, you've literally not spent a single penny of your money.
That is correct. That is correct.
You've literally been going off of Joss's money, even though you literally make enough to where you could use your money and still have some left over. Which
I know.
Just been used.
I know.
Oh no, they're ducking some.
Even though you have no actual use for money.
Reggie,
I know.
They're ducking some of his money and paying it to Josh. Like,
Okay, good.
yeah, that's what happens when
Even Entropy would get a little bit like, after hearing about the extravagant shit that he's done, be like,
was
dude,
like-
what the fuck?
when Glitch destroyed his Back to the Future car, his DeLorean. that was also deducted from his pay. That's something they just do, like, okay, deduction, like, wasn't in a mission, deduction. Causes a lot of trouble.
Just randomly happened to be outside and it ended up destroyed. Deduction.
Well, that's like some, like, well, WIP, like, actually spending someone else's money. Yeah, that's deduction.
God, I must be in the red.
And he's like, how are the dogs doing? Are they still just...
Oh, they're perfectly fine. The, what was the smart one's name?
Gideon.
Gideon. I was about to say Gregory, but no, that's not correct. Yeah, Gideon has earned
Gregory?
Gideon has gained a new pet. It is a giant slime monster created in a lab that seeks to destroy us all by consuming everything.
They're like thinking where you said, they look at you, who's Gideon?
The dog that can talk.
Ah, so wait, the dog that... They're like now thinking of the sentence that you said. He's like, did you went on the dark web again, Jib? What did you, sorry, Jib, Whip, what did you order this time? Did you order...
They're interchangeable at this point. Jib, doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've purchased an Indian elephant. It's due to arrive 3 days.
Oh no, he's like, I knew that one. I cancelled that one.
Darn it. I was going to start my own circus with mice.
If you want to... Oh, they're like, you know, Entropy, I mean, he has an elephant. Why don't you use this one?
What?
Yes, and he's like, Entropy has an elephant. Didn't you know that?
I mean, to be fair, he lives in my suitcase.
Yeah.
Just hear elephant noises. Now.
I'll feed you peanuts later on the plane.
And the stupidest thing is, this is not a joke I make. We actually confirmed earlier that Entropy has an elephant. That's canonical.
Yeah, no, yeah. I actually do have an elephant.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I'd imagine. I'm just gonna play it off with just silence. I can start that circus finally.
Writing this down. Whips can
Yes.
start a circus.
No, I'm gonna start a circus, but all of the people that run the circus are mice. There's gonna be a little mice and a little tiny top hat and red like coat, and it goes tee 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 tee, like announcing to the crowd.
Like, okay, so this is what I see. Like, we see Whip like in a lab facility where there's like mice, and he's trying to train them while nobody's looking to do stuff like this. It's gonna take like 200 years at this rate. But again, Whip has all the time, so
I've got the time.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. What the hell else am I gonna do?
So you say Whip is in a lab facility. I see him going, yes, this will take a while. I'm going to be in every lab facility training all the mice. Eventually one's got to pick it up.
Yep. Eventually.
Eventually one's got to pick it
Actually,
up.
and it does it like nobody's looking. And we see like this mice being trained. Like in the background, we see like the mice from Animaniacs, like in an image.
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
No, trying to control the circus.
That's how they're going to take over the world. First the circus, then their house, then the world.
Yeah. First circus, then house. ... world profit.
House. Then it's just a smaller step to White House. Then we got the world, Pinky.
Step 1, step 2, question.
Wait.
Step 4, profit.
Did it take this long for this campaign to get to Animaniacs? I don't think we had any Animaniacs reference before.
No, we've made references of Animaniacs before.
Thanks. Sure. Great. I just had to be sure.
Mostly, I'm pretty sure most of it had to do with me. So
yeah, probably.
Like them referencing me, probably.
Like again, we do have someone who watches cartoons now, so we're getting there. It's gonna be everyone actually there. Right now. Like
I still love and cannot believe that Steven Spielberg is the one who directed all those cartoons.
I know, right?
It's going to be canon soon. Just
Yeah.
Animaniacs was an actual real life story.
Wait, I'm sorry. Steven Spielberg was the one who corrected that?
He directed Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Freakazoid, and I cannot remember the third one.
Tiny Toons, I think, was the other one.
Nice.
Okay, well, that's great to know. I have to say, I don't think Freakazoid ever made it over here. I heard great things about it, but I don't think it ever made it over here because I can't.
It's a cartoon superhero that's basically self-aware. He's like Deadpool.
He's like that.
Except for he is a complete fucking idiot.
He's like
Deadpool.
the Mask, right? It's basically like the Mask cartoon, except for more kids.
Like, there's that one point in one of the episodes where he has this date, so he goes to the villain. Look, we can't do this. I've got a date. Blah blah blah. The villain gets depressed and goes no. And eventually, Freakazoid needs the villain's help, and he goes, "No, I'm not going to help you unless you chase me." And we do this whole hero-villain thing. So they do. It is almost romantic how they play it off.
Okay. So let's go further with the scene with Josh and Ivory getting. I'm gonna look up her real name because, yeah, she doesn't. Her name is Jessica. I don't think she will go by Ivory herself, but just for me to be aware of this. So yeah, she heads off downstairs, and they probably see the puppy, and they're like, your name's Gideon, right? Right now, like, they know each other. They haven't seen each other a lot because they almost left immediately after the diplomat, and they've known each other for a week at most, those guys. So yeah, and then they start talking, and then they ask about the slime, and it gets explained. And it's like, yeah, can you, like, Josh wants to see, and Jessica's like, nope, I'm going to the couches. I'm just at a long trip. So Josh goes to see the slime. The slime knows Josh from the cartoons. That's a cartoonish character. The same for like Ivory, but then in Ivory form and not as like human form. Yeah, they like. What does your room look like? You've been living here for like, I think 3 months, maybe 2.5. Like, you have your own room. Did you order any furniture or anything? Or
no. He's got a lot of the outfits he's needed for training because they've specifically said, hey, don't eat this stuff, you might need it. But otherwise, his room is just it's a beer room.
Yeah, and it's like probably like very like nasty, like, your body leaves some stuff behind, and it's just, there's like, it's not one color anymore. It used to be one color.
The walls are corroded as well.
Yeah.
As he's
And he's like, knock knock, and then the doors open. It's like, hi, are you? What did they call you? It's like,
hi.
he asks the dogs, and the dog is like, yeah, he's Pet. Are you Pet? And he probably gets like a stab at. Oh, he's like, T14. Is that what you like to be called?
I like that. I like Pet. I like Slime. I like Greenie. I like Slime Ball. I like Sludge. And he just goes through every single name he's ever been called.
W.I.P probably called you Josh at some point. Like,
yeah, Josh, but but it's a mixture between Josh and Mishpashan.
Josh.
Yeah. It's Whip's headcanon is that the little slime is their love child.
Sean, your name is Sean.
Yes, there we go, Sean. Miss Sean and John. There we go. Done. Sean.
Oh,
yep,
man.
Sean. Get away from my dog, you freaking monster! Stop eating the pigeons.
Not knowing this joke, like, Josh hears one normal name in that order. Okay, I'll just call you Sean.
Okay.
So this is your child.
So he's checking like his tablet thing. He's like, I see you've been like training a lot, Sean. Oh, you're invited to there's a tournament? Like, oh man, I've been out of it for a while. Hi, my name is Josh. You may hear Miss Bashaw call me what's his last name? Josh Keegan. Yeah, Keegan. Mr. Keegan. You can call me Josh. I do most of the equipment here, handling like ICT stuff, making sure You guys get food, drinks, furniture if needed, cleaning, all that kind of supplies. Is there anything you need? Just call me. Just let me know.
Okay. Okay. Can I get a cow?
Hey, what? A cow?
Yes.
Why do
A bed, a bookcase, a pile of garbage, a car.
Well, we can arrange for a pile of garbage. We can. Well, and he's like checking, like it doesn't state anywhere if you have a driver's license or not.
I would like to
What's a
restate.
driver's license?
Sir, I would like to state that I would have given you a car ages ago, but I have a limited time usage on using cars, and I used it to give you that limo to go to a strip club.
He's like,
I
could give you like
this stuff each day. This is breakfast. this I'm asking for breakfast.
So I expect like we're gonna continue Josh, but in a few days there's at least a garbage ball and like one of those kid cars which are drivable, but like it's like tiny shaped and you can drive down the halls just to practice driving.
Holy shit! I just realized they would make a lot of money dealing with the city's garbage just by giving it all to.
Like again, it's the future, and in my world, they're trying to take care of the shit. Of like garbage is not an issue. Like I hope like less of an issue.
Just launch it into space, into the sun. It'll be fine.
There's probably like a hero with a better power to deal with garbage. Like
make it a giant asteroid that will come back.
Oh god, I can imagine.
1,000.
No. It's a fucking superhero who, like, legitimately made a company specifically to deal with people's trash and is now, like, a billionaire because of this.
Maybe it's like...
He handles the world's trash.
Maybe it's like a time power, which you can, like, change it to back like it looks new.
Oh god, that would be a horrible job.
You kidding me? This guy's making so much money because he handles everyone's trash. The world's trash.
And maybe his power is like so big that he can do it like in big amounts, that not just one thing at a time, because that would take like forever.
This man is a true hero among heroes.
He is a badass to deal with all of our bullshit, especially mine and Entropy's.
I can just say it now. He is the one person in the world W.I.P actually respects.
That's why I steal his credit card all the time.
Damn it!
Yeah. So after like talking to you on like asking what you needed, he logs off. He goes to the couch as well in the main room, and I think Entropy like walks in at some point and like, hey Entropy, we're back, man. Oh yeah, we cured Jessica. Well, she still has her powers, but she now looks like this. And he's like, that's thanks to the diplomat. That was like his reward, that he got like a tip to go somewhere to at least cure her normal image. But she still has the power to grow back and have her form. He's like, yeah, if you don't mind, we actually wanted to talk to you. If you have a moment.
Oh yeah, sure, whatever. What's up, man? What's up?
Well, as you know, and he's like, Jessica had some issues, like she was mutated on, like she was like experimented on, and that's why she became, ivory. And she didn't like the way she was, and she still has these powers now, and she didn't even like feel better about the powers, but she also feels like, more normal now that she can go outside. We're thinking if she should, do something with her powers or just lead a normal life. Jessica talks like, and she's like, yeah, I mean, I still have these powers and I really want to help people, especially since I heard, so many people getting powers, and maybe I should go more of the diplomatic route,
What is her powers again?
To literally grow bigger.
And then I think her body was ivory, so I think she has ivory skin. And
okay, so she's
tougher than normal,
I mean, I would have sent a private email to John saying, can we sell Ivory's toenail and fingernail clippings to the black market to gain more cash?
And John is like, who's W.I.P? And then Josh is like, I'm not getting any emails today.
I'm sorry, not Josh, John. Fuck.
No, it's Josh, not John.
It is Josh, bro.
You said John. It's Josh.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Anyway,
Um,
my character
Yeah,
would be like, I mean, I might be able to talk to someone if you really wanted it and could get your powers, I guess, removed technically.
well,
But
she's
being a
like,
diplomat would be a good idea, probably.
getting my powers removed. We have looked into that, and it's very dangerous. They are organically connected to my organs, which removing them would kill me. But we found a way with the help of our friend Rutendo to at least change me into normal shape when I'm in my small size, giving me the ability to take a normal life if need be. She's like, I'm thinking about leaving at least the super parole. Just because Glitch, Rosa, Magnus, or Magus, those I don't want to be associated with them. And I got the option to break off there. I don't know what to do after. I mean, Josh still works there, and we've kind of grown close in this last few months, like even before. And I just don't know what to do. Maybe I should just. Sorry.
Well, if we maintain such a bad image in your eye, imagine what the public thinks of us besides you. If our association is labeled with dangerous criminals that are slowly being turned to good, but just keep getting popped off like a fly to a fly swatter, then that's just going to paint a bad image for us.
And
If anything, we would need you to be a diplomat for us to help people such as yourself.
Well, she's like, that's the thing with when I was experimenting on. First, they did some mind control on me, and I was used for evil. So I have a bad name myself currently still. So if I'm able to do that, I should do some good stuff first, and I think it's better because I have the ability to split off you guys to do some good first separate from you while you're doing it as well, and then we combine the good we do instead of me just joining you guys, because you're handling great without me before, and yeah, she understands what you say, but yeah, she doesn't. She still is like, she's not made for battle. It's not like, oh, I see a supervillain. No, she's still like a scared person even in her big form, and she can go on rescue missions and stuff, but she thinks like Berlin is like built for that stuff already. If there's like an emergency, they can handle their stuff. There's Shadowhawk for that kind of stuff. And maybe she should get on offer out. Maybe she should go to college, university, and get like a degree or something first.
My character would say, no matter what you choose, I think that you're going to choose the correct thing, though. You're going to do what you want to do, and you're going to grow up and change, and you're going to be a human. You're going to be normal. That's amazing. I think you should do what you want to do.
If you truly wanted to be without these powers, we could do like some heavy.
Okay, Josh
surgery.
shuts down the Wi-Fi router in this room. Sorry, Whip. Yeah, he can. I don't know what you were gonna say, but
heavy surgery to go remove the thing. Yeah.
Mostly because, again, Jib, you keep pushing that. It's already been said that she would die. You're basically saying, "Oh, you just have to die." So,
like, and then I think that's like that. They thank you for trusting in her, and she will think it over. And later on, like, Josh will apologize for putting down the Wi-Fi router to your Whip. And he's like, you just give Jessica some space. She's still handling some stuff, and he doesn't know if you're the correct person to because it's not like you're a very logical person, and like he's like, Jessica is like the separate. She's going through an emotional thing, and the logical person is not the best person to be handling those kinds of issues. But he does apologize for shutting down the Wi-Fi router like a few hours before.
Oh no, Whip understands. Whip understands that she could live a happy life, but she has the potential of death to reach it. She's understandable that humans are afraid of death, but that's where your ultimate happiness lies. And if you don't want to look like a villain anymore, you could recreate your face.
The thing is, Whip. The thing is, Jib, Whip doesn't understand the fact that humans are humans. You're not a human, therefore Whip has a different view of it all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that actually
That's
makes
what
sense that Whip would have that kind of view.
Yeah.
Still, though,
he doesn't understand the emotional aspect of it fully.
Like,
Yeah,
you change your face, like, every day. Like, you don't have any emotion to what you look like. So,
Yeah.
I get that.
except when it comes to Barnacle Boy.
Yeah. Vietnam Barnacle Boy.
Wait, what?
Metal Gear Solid, but replace Big Boss, or not Big Boss, replace Snake with just Barnacle Boy's head. Just Snake Eater, it's just Barnacle Boy. Anyway, go ahead, sorry.
You can't just say go ahead after something like that.
Either way,
Yeah. So I think that's it for the scenes. Maybe we do a small scene for our friend Shadowhawk later on while he's here. I think we should head towards the tournaments. Like currently of the Super Parole, the guys who are joining, if I'm correct, are Slime and Shadowhawk.
Whip is clearly.
No, we've already discussed this, Jim.
Whip tries to go with, but he's like, nope.
You're not allowed.
Like, he's in the tournament, but just nobody sees him. He can't really do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just standing
Even
there.
if there's a
Yes.
yeah, even if there's an avatar, it's like, oh no, I can go. Oh no, they're gonna hit me. They just go
Okay, and they're like, it's
through
a
me,
challenge of
and you've
tag.
been disqualified.
It's like, it's a challenge of tag. You're like, fuck.
Fuck.
Oh no, I like to imagine Whip hacks all the projections and puts himself in it, trying to make it as realistic as possible. So if someone makes a move that would hit into his projection on the TV, he reacts and stuff, and no one actually realizes he's not there except for the real people.
So I'm just editing the TV so that it looks like I'm a badass, but in reality, I'm not even in the game.
Yes.
No, Whip wouldn't do that because he would be.
It's like Peter from Family Guy who was like feeding the TV screen, like food for you. No food for you. He says it like to another person. That's like what you're.
Yeah.
What's
It's
happening?
his food.
I have a feeling if I start doing that shit, it's Whip. I would lose all privileges of possessing TVs.
But that's what you want to do. You want to look at it and like just fill yourself in. It's like, yeah, I got that guy. Ha! I'm winning.
And we have in first place Whip, as well as second place Whip, and third place Whip.
Like, the losers are that loser guy. Loser guy number 2.
Loser guy number 19. Hey,
Shut
let's
up.
just say that Whip wins.
AKA
That's
loser
it.
guy
A
number
tournament over.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't hack the tournament because then I'd lose all privileges of shit like that. But I would like to run an underground gambling ring for all the people entering.
The only benefit is that you made it set up so I got 2.
The cool thing is, if I actually get up with all 32 heroes, which I'm probably gonna do for the half because we don't see the first, you can actually gamble on this shit because I don't know who's gonna.
I'm betting a lot of Josh's money on this.
Would you stop dealing with Josh's money? It's starting to get ridiculous, bro.
Like, again, Reggie, this guy, I made him a multi-millionaire guy because I know you're
He
one
ain't
of you
gonna
guys would
be
do stuff like
multi-millionaire for much longer.
Hey, he could be a multi-billionaire. You don't know.
You don't know either. Shit.
You're right. I don't. It's be great.
And probably he's also like a smart technology guy. He's probably like declining lots of things like that Whip did without him knowing. It's like, nope, those bets don't exist. Like Whip still thinks they're happening. Whip's like has go so fast. He makes a joke and he never like. If it's like a long joke, he probably never goes back to check if it actually ever worked.
Hell, half the things Whip does just ends.
Actually happen.
It's like sometimes it just packages arrive. It's like, why did I order a sponge like 2 weeks ago? And why did it took so long? I guess so.
Why do I have a sponge?
Like it's a friend.
A sponge and a stuff. No, it's like a sponge and a sponge and a starfish. Ha ha.
What was it? Phineas and Ferb. We can make something with this. Don't be ridiculous.
Oh yeah, right. Oh no, yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
That took me a while. I don't think I caught it the first time.
Yeah. But besides, the underground gambling things and everything else that's going on, most of what Whip would be doing would be in the the president's
office. The president of the United Goddamn States office.
Yep, that's that's what Whip is now. He's the president. No, I'm gonna be in the diplomat's phone.
Yeah. You're gonna search for the beta testers.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
gonna
try to find the ex-employee and like trying to get a safe way. Like maybe you train other hackers to hack the company and that way you're safe or something. Yeah. You're thinking I should.
yeah.
But yeah, we get like the scene of like our friend like Porn Stash. I think I named him last time. Did I? I think I finally named him last time. I think I wrote it
It's still
down.
Porn Stash. It's still Porn Stash.
I have some name. Where was
Porn.
Let me see if I. Wait, was his name Schmegelmorph? Because that's the one.
Schmegelmorph. Yes, it was either Porn Stash or us naming him Schmegelmorph. One of the two.
Again, now I have to rewatch. First, I forgot to rewatch for Schmegelmorph. I think I named him at some point. Oh wait, it was an episode later. His name is Gerald.
Okay.
It's Gerald. He comes up, but we can still call him Porn Stash. Just he has a name. He picks up a Slime Boy. He picks up Shadowhawk, and Guard Soldier comes along with your guy's spot because he lives close by right now. Yeah, those three head off to the tournament. I think it's his old chopper again. His what was it called? It was not the Vertibird. It was the
Osprey.
It was the double choppers, which was from the second arc. I don't know what.
VTOL?
No, it was not the
VTOL.
VTOL. It was the what's this like army chopper called again?
It's Huey.
No, it was like
Chinook.
Chinook. Yeah, thanks. Chinook was the one I looked for.
Yeah.
His sweet Chinook, getting the guys on. Like Guard Soldier is able to change into his guard form into his human form, so he's also like he's doing some like small jobs, but he's able to. He maybe did with something that your character as well did, Jip. For your second character was go to some challenges, like just to be invited, like to prove that you're worthy to be invited to this championship. Which was like Super Pro was like ultimate, like was already like a pass you're in, unless you're too powerful or not being able to be in his games. So that was like, okay, that's why Slime Boy's in. He did some good, but he's like, okay, Super Pro's in because we want to post like this is good. This is something we want like people to know about. And there's some of these are like probably some Chaos Guardian sidekicks are in. I think that's where your character came in from, Reggie, right? Your character was like being trained by one of like Chaos Guardians, or you were trained by a hero in America, if I remember correctly, for you to be able to enter the championships for like a few months working as a sidekick. I think that's what we came up with, just for him to be entering. Like he was getting pre-trained to enter like the Super Parole because they didn't want like okay, like Mag is like, you're in. Let's see what you do, or like Glitch.
They were like pre-training him to make sure he wasn't like completely insane. So
exactly, yeah, you get some like pre-training, some like under like a bigger hero, which we should come up with later, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe we get some scenes of that.
I'm turning it up, and you're outside the circle.
Wait, what? What is that?
I'm searching houses.
Sorry, that's my brother's
Oh, okay.
talking down his game.
He sounds a bit like you, so that's why I was confused.
He sounds like me? Damn.
Not you.
Oh.
No, not like you.
Please, I'm clearly got the nicer, smoother voice. I'm more beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again,
no,
if from a distance, like the smoothness goes out of your voice a bit, so then it was like okay. So yeah, you're heading in this Chinook. Like, has the slime ever flown before, like in like a plane or any other? Well, he didn't win.
Don't think he would have, but
Yeah.
so yeah.
1 second.
But instead of being, holy shit, we're up high, he's just like literally pushed himself up against one of the windows.
Yeah, that's not the many
almost
windows.
trying to seep through it to have a look outside. This guy has no concept of danger whatsoever.
Yeah, so I don't think you've seen the Colt, the card soldier much. He's now in his human form. Maybe they added him to your cartoons to like one episode, like, oh, this is Entropy's friend. I'm trying to find his name. I think it's just David.
Entropy and his wacky friends. Oh God, what is that?
They even gave you a bad.
Maybe they did like an Alice in Wonderland, like cartoonish movie about your Avengers and what happened in the second arc.
Oh God.
They made like a cartoon out of it for him. Yeah, so it's the three of you. Shadowhawk is like pumping up, getting all his suits ready. He took much of his gear, knowing he's allowed to bring some of the stuff as long as he has it, on him before the match starts. So he's bringing a lot of his stuff. Yeah, David is just, a bit freaked out because he knows you. Maybe he talks a bit to you, and he's probably heard from Entropy about you. Yeah, you don't see much of Porn. Says he's like in his own room, like controlling the Chinook.
Yep, as usual, your entrance is very loud.
Wait, you have dogs, cats, and birds?
Yeah, and now a turtle.
He has a lot of animals. Let's not get into it.
Like, I'm thinking, like, the circus idea with animals was just not an idea in this game, but in real life as well.
If Jim could, he would.
Come on, turtle!
I am training. I am training the turtle to juggle a donut and then eat it.
I mean, sure, that's poisonous to turtles, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
That'll
be fine.
That's what he found out with the first turtle. So
Yeah.
That's what he found out with his first turtle. Ow, that's dark.
Yes. Real quick before everyone leaves and stuff and whatnot, I don't know. The very last thing I would like to do for Whip to do would send Miss Bashaw a text saying, "Congratulations on being married to John." Or
sure, she probably ignores it. Like, okay, it's good.
I meant to ask, have you done something like told Slime to start calling him mum and dad or anything yet?
Yes.
Sure.
Jim, why is your character so troubling?
Again, Reggie, this was Fairy's idea. Don't blame Whip for saying yes here.
I will blame Whip as much as I can.
He said it was Whip's headcanon that Slime was their love child or something now.
Yeah.
So I was just
But again,
wondering if this...
Reggie came up with Sean, and that's only if he didn't came up with Sean, that's not what Josh would have called you. He's in it as well.
It's everyone's fault.
Yeah, everyone's fault.
Literally everyone's. Great.
Yep. I blame Gary most of all.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think we skipped the scene with Entropy and Mr. Sham. She's okay, she understands, and she set some limits, just like check in with me once in a while if you're on Earth. At least let have this thing on you that we know where you are and what you're doing, that kind of stuff. It's like some basic, but it's like some. She's like just be trust. There's like a lot of trust between you and her at this point. So it's not like very mandatory. So like you just try to keep to these rules as much as you can.
Right.
No, don't get it out. Yeah, maybe let's before we stop, I think let's go to your guys' newest characters. Maybe let's talk. We talked a little bit about Jeb's character already, which a girl who controls fire.
Yep.
Is this something you can tell? I don't know if you want to go into her backstory or want that to come into the story
I would not mention the backstory. I'd rather have that be in character.
In character. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I understand. So maybe we get like the scene of her, like we talked about why she's entering the championships since she wasn't a hero before. She was keeping low, not letting her identity known that much.
Yeah, I'm the image that I have currently up. You know those masks that people wear when they're sick? I have the image has that the person wearing a wig and a hoodie. So
yeah, I'm trying. Let me see if I can get it on my screen. I'm not getting. I'm able to show it next time, but I'm not getting it this time. Wait, if I get it over here, it should be visible. Give me a sec. I think now should be visible in my recording. Yes, that worked. So she's like wearing disguise, and the reason she entered is probably the same as David. It was first for Jib's character. There's probably some underground tournaments to see like who's got potential with people who don't really got like a criminal record, and they just want to see like also like enter like normal people who just are not that famous and known for being superheroes to be entering the tournament, just to see like what are people currently able to do. And since you're very powerful and destructive, they think that's a good deed to show that as well, and not just show the good stuff. Just to be totally honest to like the people in the world, there are people with destructive powers who actually have to try to control it, but they're still. We can still help these people, by training them to be more aware of what they can do. I think that's a thing. Like, what can we know her name? Like, is that something you want to share?
Pyre. Pyre.
And
I wonder why.
Yes.
It's for fire.
I'm pretty sure that one doesn't need to be explained.
Yeah. She was like at sea. We were talking about her age. Like we had a discussion of being a kid, a teenager, adolescent.
Adult. Like we've discussed from child, teen, young adult, full adult. From like we've discussed from 5 to 35.
Yeah, so
we eventually settled on like dead on.
Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe I want to explain like to the other guys. Like,
weird.
Child was okay for me for the tournament. Like we could have worked around this, but I wouldn't want kids to enter the Super Parole, so I said it would only be for the tournament. Like teens, I would say is okay, but we really have to go into the teen express. Like there's stuff like school and stuff. She's not like the other guys. She has some responsibilities like school, learning, going to puberty. Well, that's maybe too hard, but like I didn't want to go adolescent, like 20-year-old to like 26, because I think most of her RPCs have been that age-ish, and I would say like go then 35 or older was the second option, so either teen or 35 or older. And I think you went with teen.
I did go with teen because I like the idea of the person trying to like learn and understand what like everything about life. First up, they're practically a monster.
Yeah.
Just because like we've had this discussion before. Like, oh no, somebody's dying. Let me heal you. Oh no, I just set you on fire.
Yeah.
Here, let me try and consume the fires of the building to help put it out, and it just backdrafts somewhere else.
And I think it makes your character stronger, like not being able to control your powers. Like with a teen, I think that's stronger than if it was like an adult who's not. I think there's like something like I still like learning, like just in life, but you know herself, but also her powers.
Life themselves, and most of all their powers.
Yeah.
I can create flames and consume them. I cannot control them.
Yes. And yeah, you probably you got to this championship based on your power. There was no like that's where the challenges maybe were based off, that you were able to win these pretenses. Like the card soldier probably had some other pre-challenges to win. He wouldn't have won on like brute force.
Yeah. The biggest aspect that the character has outside of fire is their athletic and acrobatic. So any challenges involving those, there would be no flying shenanigans of flaming wings or anything like that. It would just be like pure acrobatic skill.
And that was like a thing, right? She really wanted to enter this tournament. Can you explain why? Because that's maybe I'm so friggin'
that bit I could say to be accepted, to find some place where there's other people that are just like her, mutants or people with superpowers that won't identify her immediately as a monster.
It's like the different way that Ivory went. Like, okay, I want to join back the humans. That those are my equals. Like, I hate my powers. For you, the other side. There's like I have to control my powers, but I want to join the other side. I want to join the power people. Yeah. And instead of like getting rid of my powers, I need to control them.
Yeah, because as is, I also have them labeled as tiers. She would try not to use anything that drastic, unless it comes to a point where the shit hits the fan, you know?
Like, and sometimes you have to, right? Like you said, if you absorb fire, then you will have to release it at a much more powerful level. So you can save people, but you have to find a way to then blow them up after saving.
Yeah, I have to either I have to physically injure myself to use the flames to heal myself, or send that fire in a different direction.
Yes.
I can't make a firework yet.
I hope you enjoy, Jib.
What image did you send?
I hope you enjoy my 5 minutes of Photoshop.
Wait, what did you do? Is that the Winter Soldier or which? Who is
that's
that?
That's Metal Gear Solid 5. That's like a poster background thing they have. I just stuck Barnacle Boy's face onto it. Cut it out of a picture, cut it out of an appropriate picture and put it on there.
Snake is now Barnacle Boy.
I'm trying to see if I can copy this to Roll20. Can I? Am I able to? No.
I can set it as Entropy's character model real quick or some shit.
Yeah. I will do that next time. Oh sure, it's just a great one, so I'll do it next time.
Just open with that. Anyway,
Like, I've talked with my other campaign about twittering some things out in the future. Like, last time we had someone roll, he had to roll 4d6 and he rolled 4 6s. Or something. Which was, or maybe it was even 5d6. He rolled so high and rolled all 6s. And we had, it was like a Pokemon game, and there was, a moment they had to, escape, lots of Pokemon, and they destroyed, defeated 32 Pokemon with the 3 of them.
God.
Which was damn, this thing is I want to Twitter out this picture to Roll20. It's yes, this is where it comes to. Okay,
this is the
thank you, Roll20.
This is what Roll20 leads to. Barnacle Boy being the goddamn Solid Snake.
Yes, I have to probably do that in the future and save this picture for that tweet in the future. Okay, let's go to Reggie's character.
One last thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to ask you to remember when, there's a very stressful situation. I've grabbed the attribute of hold back. It's a will save, and for every like advantage point I put into it, I get a bonus towards my will save.
Yes.
Currently, my will save with this advantage point is at 0. It's basically just a pure d20 with a DC of whatever you set. And I've sent you the image of what happens if I cannot hold back.
Yeah, what would be your trigger? It's like, is it get angry, get hurt, or what?
It would be like angry. It would probably be angry, hurt, self. It would be anything that you could say, hey, this might be enough to pressure that person. Roll the holding back.
Okay.
Like, for probably the biggest one might be anger and out of, like, severe injury.
Yeah, revenge, that kind of stuff. Like somebody hit you before and almost lost you the championships, and now you had the chance on this guy. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I haven't made that yet, because that's at power, because of the way holding back works is that it's a negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd imagine there's a negative for being as there's like, I'd imagine there's no control over anything whatsoever from me directly.
Sure. Okay, Reggie, like, let's talk about your character, which for me, I have to see it in action. I have some idea from what your character can do, but I'm still wondering how you're gonna play it. For me, it's not like Fire Girl who needs to hold back, right? It's like, okay, I get an idea of how he's gonna play her. During him backstory. But yeah, let's talk a bit about your guy. I think we can say his name, which is Kenneth Peterson, correct?
Kenneth Peterson is an actual name, yes.
I think we came up with that name as a joke, like it was like Kenny from South Park with Peter from Family Guy.
Yeah, something like that.
It's urgent.
So he's immortal.
The name, it's just how his name came to be, which I think
we were just being idiots talking or whatever, and just like discussing like, oh man, I always have trouble with fucking names, and we ended up with Kenneth Peterson. So I was like, all right, yeah, no, that works actually. Fair enough. I wanted something normal sounding. That's pretty normal sounding.
Yeah, again, I think up for him as well. We should handle like his like backstory more in like after credit scenes maybe, and something, talking with characters in story. Yeah, we can show a little bit like what he's like or what he look like. I do have a small picture of him in World 20 of this guy as well. Yeah, so do you want to share a bit about it? There's maybe something you want to keep secret about what works, or he maybe doesn't know it himself exactly, and don't know if you want to keep that secret. But what will people see of him, like in like the first sessions? Like, what are his attacks like, or you know what I mean?
Let's see. How do I describe this guy? How to go about this? All right. So we'll say, like, again, we talked about how this guy is again, he grew up on the streets of I believe we decided America, right?
Yeah,
like,
it was America. Yeah.
Very much a what's the word I'm looking for? In a very ghetto area, very like he wasn't really
suburbs.
I didn't have much of a good upbringing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Probably barely went to school at all. Blah blah blah. You know how it is. But let's see. What should how is?
And again, he did have.
He got in some trouble. He sort of like got into gang activity and stuff like that, and was, let's just say, he was confronted by a superpowered person who ended up basically he essentially surrendered immediately because he's a bloody coward, and the person, instead of throwing him in jail, decided, let's give him a chance.
Yeah, but again, like, this maybe I should mention, like, if we saw this, like, from you, like, if there was, like, a scene, then we would see, like, a human you as a child, but after a while, something changed, and,
Oh, yeah. Basically, a human as a child, normal kid, and then as he got older, something happened that sort of gave him a little more of a different look. I like your tiny picture, by the way. The tiny little thing in comparison to everyone else.
Oh wait, did I actually put it somewhere?
Yeah, you see it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's...
did I put it there?
Yeah.
I don't know if I put it there or if you put
maybe,
it there, but
because I was like dragging your picture. Like if I drag it, then it's very big, and I put it over the text to show, and then I just clicked it somewhere. So that's the problem. This is currently not showing because of it's not set up correctly, but the text is showing. So I put it over the text for a second.
Oh, okay, I see. In the case, it ended up that something happened in his sort of teenage years or whatever, and he's still basically a teen. He's just at the cusp of it. I think we decided on it was like 18, 19, 20, 22 at most, something like that. Oh no, apparently I decided 30. Why did I decide 30? Maybe I put the wrong thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was for your first idea of the character, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. We'll say he's 20. How about that?
Yeah, 20.
Easy.
And I think he was Hispanic at first.
Yes, he is. In fact, he is of a Hispanic one.
And it was like Hispanic gangs, and I kind of like made you like had him have a brother either in a gang or killed while in a gang. So I think
I decided that one to be that he actually still has his brother in a gang.
Yeah.
His brother sort of has gotten out of that whole thing because his brother's actually intelligent enough to know, hey, that's not really a good life to live, but still has some connections there probably, but anyway,
and it was
things happened in his life, and he's sort of, I guess the best way to say it would be mutated a bit. He has ears now, like huge ass weird ears and a tail, and it's kind of obvious that he's sort of a mutant, and he probably has a little stigma, there's a bit of stigma considering the whole thing nowadays.
Yeah, and again, the mask is a part of the body. It's not like a mask. It's just
actually
the way
his mask doesn't come off. It doesn't come off.
Does he have eyes? Like, are there visible eyes on him or a mouth? Because currently
not on the mask.
Yeah, so it's like nobody would see that, right? You do have vision.
I could explain how he eats, but that'd be a little weird, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we'll get into that later.
You're Kakashi from Naruto.
No, he has a proboscis, and it just comes out of. There's just this like, all right, time to eat. A tube comes out from underneath the mask. It just.
In actuality, he actually can eat through his skin, but that's beside the point.
And again,
anyway.
he doesn't have like a superhero like name or code like other names.
It's not like some like, I am blah.
No, but I did say like some like of the gang, especially like triads. If you're Enigma, they called you the Oni, which you kind of hated because I think
my character actually doesn't like his nickname, which is again Oni, which is to him an insult basically.
Yeah.
Basically means demon.
Like, what is there?
Just add Gary to it, you can be a rice ball.
It's like far jumping, like maybe some bit more strength than normal humans. What are his basics like powers?
He's quick on his feet, he can move decently fast, and he can jump a bit. He also happens to do a little bit of, well, let's just say that his skin is covered with a very strange substance. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Did he have a gun? Or...
he actually has a knife.
A knife.
Is what his thing is. Yeah. And he can throw the knife. So.
He has a knife, guys. Mention it. A knife, not knives.
A knife. No, actually, did I say it was 2 or 1? I can't remember. Hold on, let me check what I wrote.
I think it was originally 2.
And then I decided it was just gonna be 1. Oh no, I decided it was going to be 2. He has 2 knives that he keeps that were actually gifts from me.
I really like that you were like, yeah, he has a knife that he can throw. It's like, yeah, he had a knife. he could throw.
All right. Anyway, yeah, he has 2 knives that he keeps with him that are like his brother gave him as gifts whenever he was younger. So he always keeps those around.
Maybe like. It was like his brother got one of the knives when he got in a gang, and the other one you got when you got in a gang, and then the brother stopped being a gang and he gave you his knife, so one is like yours, one is your brother's or something.
Sure, yeah, that sounds nice.
Just whatever you do not throw the knives at slime. You will never get them back.
My character probably would not throw them at you to begin with, because So I don't know what the fuck you are, and I'm not going to mess with you because my character, again, is not very brave. He would rather not fuck with you if he can help it.
Well, I would say, like, if you, like, looked at some of these heroes, like, okay, I have to fight this guy with his Shadowhawk, which is, like, a very known hero crime fighter, or the slime guy. I think you're gonna fight the slime in that case.
I mean, yeah, but my character wouldn't be very happy about it. He's like, both of them. There's no telling what the fucking slime thing does. God's sakes, it'd probably eat me. Shit.
Like, and then you see this car guy, you like, knives,
You're not
paper,
wrong.
sure. Like, again, this is for, like, the tournament, which is coming up. I think next week we're able to do this. Like, next session we'll see who is able. And we'll have some champions. Like, if Gary or somebody doesn't make it, I will have to look. Maybe he's in the other part. Like, again, it's possible that you guys don't even make it to the first round or second round. I think I set it up as a championship with 64, and it starts with 32 and goes to like 16, and 8 or something. So there's like 6-7 rounds we're gonna go through. And if you don't make it, we're gonna, or you get another hero like who did make it, or you're gonna be a commentator, or maybe there's even like gonna be a subplot around. I don't know. Like we're gonna
There's no telling, honestly. This is a very interesting little.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to do it. Like I really don't like the idea of you. Okay, you're gonna in a tournament. You're in the same fucking group, and we know you're gonna win. Like you. It could be like, it's like, oh yeah, okay, it's 16 against each other, and like, oh, I'm not, you're maybe it's actually Slime just hitting Shadowhawk and he's out of the game. Like, maybe you make groups and you make 4 separate groups. Like, it is actually possible.
I do have to bring up something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Completely unrelated. Who's going? I understand that Gary is the quote-unquote leader of the group because he's the hero.
Yeah.
And, like, how are we going to function as basically 2 delinquents and a slime? How are we going to function when he's not here?
I trust us. We'll be actually better off than you seem to think.
Like, that's the thing. Like, in the championship, you just want to win. You really don't. It's not like, oh, I have to.
I mean, outside of the.
Yeah. So if we get after there, it's like we probably do some free time. But again, like Reggie's character is being around a hero for a few months now. You know, there's being probably. I think it's like, oh, I have a better life when I'm a hero than when I do shitty jobs as a criminal. It's like, okay, I'm probably gonna do this. For your flame guy, again, I don't think she's a delinquent. She's actually. You know, she was had a bad life, but it's not like she was like trying to kill people at any point. And Slime will probably live to the dog when the dog is pretty like morally good.
Oh my god, the dog's going to lead us.
Oh my god, why are you obsessed with someone leading us? No one has to lead us for anything.
I know, but I mean, like, because we're basically 3 neutrals and like a hero guy that leads us, you know?
I don't know about you, but I'm fine with I don't know about you, but I'm fine with having a neutral as a boss. Okay. Hell, again, we don't need a neutral, or not a neutral. We don't need a leader. That's not something that actually we need.
Okay.
I don't know why you're going on to that, man, but we don't actually need that.
And there's also like this track record of like, yeah, there was this guy named Glitch in the team. It's like, yeah, we destroyed him. Like, he was doing bad, we destroyed him. Oh, there was this guy named Maze. Yeah, we sent him to a different universe because he was breaking the rule. Like, you guys get that they're pretty strict on the rules, right? Like, these are some known facts to your character.
We're not the leader, Jib. Other people are the leaders.
Yeah.
We're just the grunts that do what they tell us to do.
Like, again, you can become, if you feel like there has to be a leader, you can try to become that one. If you're actually doing a good job and be good, then yeah, you could become the leader.
Yeah. Still say Gideon for president.
Gideon for president, agreed.
Make it happen, damn it. Make it happen.
We just advance like a few years into the future. The dog's the president.
He's like a robot
With his
body.
locks
Oh.
like in the core of the fucking earth.
Wait, isn't that Rick and Morty, like the
Yep.
dog with the robot body?
Yep.
Yep.
Rick made it intelligent and it made itself smarter until it took over the world.
Yep.
Where are my testicles, Summer? They're gone.
What was his name again? Snowballs or something? It was like
Yep.
real like.
Snowball is my slave name.
Oh man, I'm really sorry that Rick and Morty season already gone, guys. And
I'm
this
so
episode- there's also
Disappointed
end of
they
this
did
session.
nothing with a third person.
They had like 10 seconds of bird person in there.
I know, they're just like, hey, I'm still kind of a robot. And that
Yeah, it was
was
like, oh, we give it a name, and everyone is like, yeah, that's actually not real news. It's like you're doing the Darth Vader scene, and now we're just going like, oh, that's what happened. So like 20 seconds after they build him, they're like, oh yeah, his name's Darth Vader because he was going to have a child, or never mind. I think we're gonna end.
Alright, no man, I don't even know.